Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Thursday's class. We are going to be talking about listing presentations, and they've updated some information in One Studio that you guys need to know about, and I want to show you where to get to it and how to utilize some of these tools. We have a ton of tools that we're underutilizing, and so you all need to kind of know where they are so you can get in there and use them. Just a side note, our buddy Brownie, he texted me all excited. I think it was Tuesday morning. He got his first lead from his social media. So it does happen. And he actually had a appointment on Zoom, I think it was, or a call that day at noon with the person. So it works out. It does happen. And so just keep at it. Just perseverance is the key on that. And I don't know if I shared with you guys, or I think I did. I got a hit the other day through my website, actually, someone that's looking for a multifamily unit, and the one they're looking at is $11.5 million. So Brian and Brownie are helping me out with that because I don't have a clue on the commercial side where to even start. So I sat in on one of our Waking Up to Win calls yesterday. If you guys get the opportunity to do that, I do highly recommend it. They are every Thursday at noon our time. And they talk about a lot of different subjects. The person they had talking yesterday was a coach, and her name was Cheryl. Oh gosh, I forgot her last name. And they recorded it so you can go back and watch it. But she was talking about conversations like we've been talking about, how to get out there and have the most meaningful conversation and how to utilize some of them. She had some scripts that were basic, simple scripts. I'm going to kind of go over a couple of them here with you. If I can find my notes from yesterday, bear with me. I'm still way on that. I'm back on my summit notes. Okay, on the Wake Up to Win, she talked about making money with open houses was her topic, but the scripts that she was utilizing, she said, can be used anywhere throughout the day. And just go out there and start conversations. She said 75% of open house attendees never receive a follow-up. Be in the 25% was the bottom line for that. You know, people go out and show up at these open houses and we take their information and then we don't follow up with them. Come on, guys, we got to do better than that. That could be your next sale. Opportunities are not lost. They go to someone else. And so you just got to follow up with these people. You need to add value-added persuasive scripts. That's what her key was. When you add value, people will hire you. That was one of her key points. And the person that asks the most questions controls the conversation. That's where you want to be. You want to be controlling the conversation. And it doesn't mean you're a control freak or anything. It just means you want to be able to guide the conversation where you need it to go. And sure, you can get off topic, but always try to bring it back around. Be friendly, ask about their family, ask about, their goals, their wants. But always keep control of that conversation and ask questions. If somebody says, well, we're not looking to buy right now, I totally understand that. That's fine. When would you think would be a good time for you to start buying? Or did you know I have some statistics that may help you out with that? And then provide them the statistics that they need to help make that decision. And then follow up with them. And always do a presumptive close. I'm thinking most of y'all know what a presumptive close is. Craig, I'm going to pick on you because I can see you. You know what a presumptive close is? Come off mic. I can't hear you, Craig.
Now you can.
Now you can. What's
you
a presumptive
see me and hear me both.
Yeah, yeah. What's a presumptive close for us?
A what?
Presumptive close.
You just asked a question that's basically assuming the sale.
Exactly. That's how you need to approach these things. You're very good at what you do. Y'all have very good talents. You need to assume you're going to get a yes. You might get a no. Don't be disappointed if you get a no, but go into the conversation assuming they're going to say yes. And then also make sure, and she had a very good point on this. When you are asking for the appointment, give them two options. and give them an evening option and giving a Saturday option. In her example, she said, I have an appointment available Thursday at 5, or I can do Saturday at 10, which works best for you. And, try to overcome all of their objections. If there's an objection, think about what they're asking and how they're asking it, or ask them, why would you say that? Or did I not make a point are you missing a point that I should have made? Ask about it, find out what's going on. In the future, the fortune is in the follow-up. So I'm always going to tell you guys, follow up. And you're going to call me to task because I did a bad job. And I'm going to show you here in a little bit. I went to the Denton Independent School District open last, I guess that was August, with Brownie and our friend from PRMG, Robert Zito. And we collected 71 people's names while we were at this welcome back for the teachers, put them in a database. And I'm going to get out of here real quick so I can show you this. We put them in a database and started assigning items to them. The letters that I tell you about, the follow-up letters, the campaign emails, we assigned those to these people. And I got in there preparing for this class. I got in there to see, what are some tools that we may not be utilizing that we should be utilizing. And I came across an area, and thank God the database did it for me, but I didn't follow up with some of these people. So I've got a new thing to put on my list. When you go into your OneSuite, your CRMs here, this is where you're going to put all your information for your clients. Contacts and leads, this is where you'll put everything. And then you can set up campaigns from there, and you can assign them into groups. These people that are in this database are all called Denton ISD. And I assigned campaigns to them and thought I was doing a good job. Well, then I saw this marketing report. This marketing report is also on our website. People can request it or download it. And so I was just kind of playing around and seeing what it is, what it does. And I downloaded it off my website for 75068, the Little Elm area. And I thought, hey, this is really kind of cool. And then I came over here and I went, wait a minute. This group of people that I put, these 71 people, and one of them opted out. So I only have 70 in here right now. These 70 people are on an automatic drip campaign for me. And so every month, they are getting this marketing campaign. I'm going to bring it up for you. This is the marketing report that they're receiving every month from me, which I didn't even know I was selling at. It's personalized at the top, Dear Rosita. It has my name, my contact information. It has PDF. It has view and browser. It has shared it, Facebook, forward to a friend. It has all kinds of things. And it's a snapshot of the real estate market in the Little Elm zip code. And you probably looks familiar because I used this slide on social media the other day. And then it breaks it out also in a chart and a graph. So this goes out not just this one time. I clicked on somebody's name. Let's, I think Andrea was who it was. Let's see, if you go over to the other side where the little view glass is. Okay, this person has been receiving the market report every month since December, and they've opened it every month since December. I haven't followed up with them yet. Shame on me. These are things that we should be paying attention to and following up. I know what happened. I probably just got lost in the shuffle and got busy. I set this up for Brownie and Catherine and I to work on together. And because it's under my name, of course, it all falls under my stuff. But I'm going to sit down with Catherine and Brownie now and go, hey, we've got this database. These people are looking at the information we're setting out with them. We need to follow up with them and see if we can capture any of these things. This was probably the easiest thing we ever did. We went out and talked to people. We handed out pens and whatever goodies we had on the table. We danced in the aisles and we just had so much fun. and met all these people. We had a raffle giveaway, and we gave away a couple good presents. And this was the results. We got all these names, collected all these names under the guise of a raffle. And somebody did win a bottle of wine and a gift basket, I think. But I captured 70 names that they're paying attention to the stuff I'm sending them. So this is really, really good stuff. And this is just one example of it. So that's kind of how that worked. Does that make sense? Was that easy?
Yep.
Craig, do you think you can handle that?
Yes, that was easy.
And what I might do, because I do have phone numbers and emails and everything for these people, I may sit down with some of y'all and we'll do a couple of calls on it. And then once you see how I make the calls, I'll let you make the calls and see if we can't get some more activity and business out of this.
That's a good idea.
I don't think Brownie and Catherine would have a problem with it because I'll work them with you. So it'd be under my number, but you'd get the experience on it. So I'll double check with Brownie and Catherine, but I don't think they'll have a problem with that whatsoever. But that's kind of how that all works. And it's simple, it's easy. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint here, I think, in a second. Maybe.
Hey, if you don't mind my asking, Linnea, I was looking for a listing presentation yesterday.
Yep.
In the and it said 2020. So it seemed kind of dated.
Yes.
Is this the same one, or is this a new one under your name, or?
It is the same one, and they're getting ready to bring out a new one. They just haven't put the finishing touches on it yet.
Okay.
So that was a very, very good question. Here, I want to show you though. You can get to it from one suite too. Let's go back.
Yeah, we were talking about when I was in the office, and I decided to look at it, review it, and make sure I had it ready for when I'm doing this big mail out, hoping to get at least 1 or 2 listings out of it.
Yeah, and there's always training and videos on this page too, so you guys can always watch those.
Okay.
Okay, it's not in this one. I know where it's at. Hang on. I got it up on the slideshow presentation, so I can show you there. But it's going to be under zone. There's a place on zone I'll show you since we're on this screen.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 options on there. The vertical,
Don't do the vertical. I'll tell you about that.
I think there are 3 different options. They all said 2020. So
yeah, they're working on the new one. They just don't do it. Here's how you get to it. You go to zone and you go over to the left, down, drop to the marketing, go to listing presentations, and they'll have the 2020 new listing presentation vertical. Don't do the vertical. And then they'll have the 2020 new listing presentation, and they'll have the 2019 listing presentation. Go with the 2020 listing presentation new and horizontal, because it's easier to format. It's very easy to format compared to what I did, because and even now when we do this slideshow presentation, I may have to adjust some things. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But that's kind of where you need to go to find all of that. All right. Oh, I'm going to stop sharing for a second and go back to the actual listing presentation.
I have a question.
Yes.
So how would you send this to someone? Like the same way you would send like an email?
It's a PowerPoint presentation, so you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either take excerpt pages out of it. I don't know that I'd send the full thing to somebody. This is mainly for you to use as a tool when you're sitting face to face with someone. But you can take pages out of it and just use it as an excerpt, and you just have to attach it as a document. I just do a copy paste type situation, or a snippet page if in that case.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Well, I'm going to get this up to the top so I can kind of pay attention to what I'm doing. And we're going to go back to the slideshow from the slide I'm at. Okay, so this is your first page. And again, you go in here and customize this how you want it. Just insert, I'm assuming that you guys are familiar with PowerPoint. If not, we'll get together. PowerPoint's very easy. And you just insert as you need, where you need, and just go through the slides. So this is your cover page. And I showed you where to find the listing presentation on Zone. I just threw that in so I'd know. Now, this is one of the slides that, because it's vertical, it always misaligns. That's why I'd say do the other one. But you just go in here. All of this is there for you. If you want to change any of the pictures, you can just change them. It's very user friendly. If I can do it, you guys can do it. And this is in there. This is our one manifesto. I recommend keeping this in. You can eliminate any of these pages that you want, but I do recommend keeping this in. This talks about seizing the day and our manifesto for the company. You know, everyone matters and everyone has a voice. So this, I think, is powerful to keep in here. And if you want a different picture, you can certainly insert a different picture. Understanding your wants, needs, and expectations. I review with my client. This is what I do. I need to understand your wants, needs, and expectations. My goal as a professional is to sell your property. Now, this is a listing presentation, so this is for sellers. For the most money in the least amount of time, my goal is to make the transaction as seamless and simple as possible for you. And then I inserted this little picture down at the bottom, the advice, help, support. That wasn't there. I inserted that. It was just a picture I've used forever. So that's kind of how that goes. Again, you can customize this, change any of the pictures you want, change any of the verbiage if you want. And then, of course, inserted my picture, and it talks about why am I the one? And I just put, and I used a lot of what they had and just updated it to me. But just put this in here. And then this is a kind of a cool screen. It shows the average professionals involved with a Realty One Group transaction. Most people don't realize what we do behind the scenes because they aren't seeing us do it. The only time a seller is really seeing us work is when we're out there doing an open house. That's the only time they physically see us working. They don't have a clue what we do behind the scenes. So this you can utilize, and it shows down here different things, and it's a small screen. I'm sorry, but you know, you can go through here and point some things out to them. And when I'm talking 25 professionals, I don't necessarily mean 25 Realty One Group people. I'm talking about your title representative. I'm talking about your title closer. I'm talking about your processor, your loan processor, your lender, your appraiser. All of those are professionals, and we all touch the file that for each transaction. So there's 25 professionals that are involved in one transaction. So it's kind of nice to point that out to them. Okay. And again, these were slides they had in there. I just kind of adjusted them a little bit, moved them around a little bit. You know, condition of your property to sell, conditioning your property to sell. I go over what I recommend. And I haven't seen the house yet. I probably do things backwards than a lot of people. When I go out to do a listing presentation, I want to be in front of them talking at first. And then at the end, I'll say, now that I've told you about me and how we can do this, let me see your home. And we'll go through room by room. I take a notepad because I'm old school, take a pen and a pad, and I go from room to room, and I ask them a ton of questions. And it could be stuff like, if I see something unusual in the room, hey, that's really unique. Tell me more about that. Or if they may say something like, this is one of the reasons we purchased the house. That is a good thing to know. I try to get that out of people. What are 3 things that made you want to buy this house? It may help me in marketing it and selling it to another person. If that was something important to you, it might be important to another person. And so just go through and ask a lot of questions. We'll talk about pricing strategy at the table. So not necessarily while you're walking around, but you can drop a little tidbit here and there and say, you know, once I've seen the property and know exactly the condition, I'll be able to give you a better pricing strategy. So let's just continue our walkthrough, and I let them know I have active buyers that I'm working with. And as I walk through your home, if I think of someone that might be interested, or this may be a good fit for, with your permission, I will bring it up to my buyers. Let them know you're already thinking about marketing their house prior to ever getting the listing, because you're assuming you're getting that listing. And then let them know you're going to do high quality photos. I'm a horrible photographer. That's not my forte. I bring in a professional photographer. Also, the statistics show that if you use drone photography on a real estate listing, it will sell 75% faster. Some of those information, you don't have to know all of the details, but keep little bits and pieces and memorize them and bring them up. And while you're walking through your house, say, you know, I'm going to bring in a professional photographer. I included instructions from the photographer in your package. I'm going to leave you, but I wanted to let you know 75% of the properties that have drone photography sell faster. And so I would like to do that as well. It costs me a little more. It's a cost I pay. It's a price of doing business. That's my marketing costs. But I would like to do that if that's fine with you. Get them on board, get them to, oh yeah, that'd be really nice. You know, I just had a client listing presentation a couple weeks ago, and they said drone photography, there's nothing to see. And I go, well, actually, you're close to the lake, so they'll be able to see the lake and all kinds of things. So, you know, there are things that people will do, and I think it would help market your property and get it sold faster. You know, videos and virtual tours are very big with properties. There was a presentation I did a few weeks ago that talked about if you put video on Zillow, you don't have to, just on your listings on Zillow, the free listing, you don't have to market and advertise with Zillow, but your MLS feed automatically shows up on Zillow. So if you have good quality photography and videos and virtual tours, it shows up higher in the rankings on Zillow. So you're using Zillow against themselves. And that's really a good place to be in, because that makes up for any price you paid for putting these videos and drone photography and all that. That price is small compared to what you could get off of your marketing online if you do it properly through Zillow. I think the statistics that he used, and I'm going from memory, so bear with me. The slide he showed, he was number one, and this was in Arizona market. He was number one on Zillow with about 16,000 views. And the next closest agent to him had about 8,500 views. So that just shows you the power of video, virtual tours, and quality photos. So please utilize those. You know, we use national and local networks, and there's over 1,000 agents. That number's old. We're way over 1,000 now. You can go to our scrolling market numbers and update that number if you'd like. You know, we have international companies as well. We're in 14 countries right now and growing. So make sure you point that out. You get international as well as internet exposure. And see, the bottom of this slide cut off, so I can't see the bottom. So bear with me a second. I'm gonna X out of here and go down and see what is on the bottom of that. Enhanced marketing and signage. So we're going to kind of move this up. Oh, sorry. So we can see it on the slide. I'm going to do the slideshow from current. And so that's the disadvantage of the vertical. You have to continually adjust those things. But this kind of gets you the point across. And again, you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Make sure you get good quality pictures. You can never get a second chance to make a first impression. So let the people know. And I have a marketing guide that I can leave with people. It's a little outdated now. I think we have a newer one somewhere in, I'll have to dust it off and find out. But simple things, not the simple things that don't cost a lot of money is what I focus on. You know, curb appeal, plant some pretty flowers. They don't have to be in a garden. Put them on flower pots and place them around strategically. You know, a fresh coat of paint, update the lighting, update the faucet fixtures. Those are easy way to attract buyers and get the value up, and they aren't going to cost an arm and a leg. You know, if they want to do a major overhaul, ask them if you could be a part of that and make some recommendations and suggestions to them. Because if they're talking about replacing some flooring that is in good condition, they just don't particularly care for it, but it may be a current trend. You would recommend not replacing that. You can use that money effectively in another location that might get you a better ROI, which is rate of return. So always be thinking of those things in advance. Okay, and home staging. I don't go into significant staging. Most of my clients are living in the house. And so I tend to focus more on decluttering, get anything personal off the walls. We want them to look at your home. We don't want them to go, oh, what a cute family. So remove any personal pictures. And this is also where I talk to them about removing anything that you do not want people to get their hands on. If you have firearms in the house, they need to be locked up under key or removed from the property while they're showing the house. You don't want somebody to come in and take something like that. Same with medications. If you're on any medications during a showing, you want to take those medications with you so people are not likely to accidentally find them or take them or whatever. Same with expensive jewelry or anything along those lines. I've actually had a client, and bless her heart, she's a sweet lady. She's an older lady. She left a pair of diamond ring earrings on the night table before a showing. And she came back and she couldn't find them. Talk about an uncomfortable conversation. I had to call the agent that showed the property and say, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. However, these are missing. Do you remember seeing them? And of course, the agent got a little uppity with me. And I said, again, I'm not blaming anyone. She most likely just misplaced them. I'm just trying to find out, did you happen to come across them or see them when you were out showing the property? And were you with your clients when you were in, she's sure it was in the master bedroom, when you were in that particular space, did you see them and did you accompany your clients in that area? Yeah, it's a tough conversation, but it does happen on occasion. In 19 years, it's happened once to me. And you always got to be ready for it. I go through and I list things that should not be in the house with them. And I may give them a copy of the list. These are things that you should remove from the house prior to us listing it. And I also let them know, if you have any items that are not part of the home, but are attached as a decoration to the home. For example, curtain rods, those big Texas stars that people buy, they're expensive. And some people don't want to give them up. So I let people know now before you list is a good time to take those things. And if you need to substitute something else for it, fine, go ahead and do that. But the worst thing we can have is a buyer walk in and go, oh, I absolutely love that. I want it. And you don't want to sell it because that creates problems. So make sure that you have the conversations with your clients and go, if there's anything. I've had people that wanted to remove a chandelier. They wanted to replace it. Well, they kept the original chandelier that was there that they replaced it with, this fancy one. And so they were able to swap out the chandelier. I told them, make sure you do that prior to closing, because we don't want a buyer to fall in love with something and then all of a sudden it's not there and they're disappointed. And they think you're trying to cheat them or something. So make sure you have those conversations. Determining the price and preparing to sell. Your location, you can't do anything about that. Your location's your location. Hopefully they're in a really good location. If they're not in as desirable of a location, try to overcome that by doing some extra special photography or have something unique about the property. The condition of the property. If they're getting ready to sell and they want to sell for top dollar, that property needs to be in exceptional condition. I like to have my properties in pretty much, model condition, if at all possible. Now, if they have several children, they're going to have fingerprints here. So just try to give them a couple hours on the showing window, advance notification, and, let them know, please wipe down any stainless steel appliances, wipe them down real good before you leave so we don't have fingerprints on them. Same with any mirrors or windows. If you have pets, please keep them contained or remove them during showings. If the dog scratches at the window and makes a mark, please address that. We don't want that to be something that brings down the price. We want to get the best price we can for you. And then we talk about economic trends. You know, we have a lot of cool things coming in right now. You know, we have all that activity going up on PGA Boulevard up there. Universal's coming in. We've got, oh, Jimmy Buffett is talking about coming in. That hasn't been announced yet. That will be, I'm thinking, on the southwest side of Lake Louisville. So we have a lot of things and trends that are coming in. Kind of hit on some of them. Let them know, you know, we've had several corporations relocating here, and talk about a couple of them, just kind of name a few of them. And then talk about supply and demand. You know, last year we had no supply, and it was really tough to sell anything last year because you had multiple offers on everything. And so the demand was there, the supply was not. We've kind of adjusted right now. We have a much better supply right now. And we're not seeing as much of a demand. We're still seeing a demand. There's a lot more new construction on the market and various things like that. So let these people know what their competition is going to be. You know, new construction has a vast inventory right now, and people are taking advantage of that. And then talk about strategic negotiations and how you go out and negotiate on their best interest. And just kind of let them know what's going on with that. You know, these are price critical things. If people want to list their price and they're listing it above what you're recommending, these slides are very good for them. It lets them know, you know, the first week of listing your home is where you want to have it priced right, because you don't want it to sit on the market and get stale and old. You want to have it marked appropriately. If they do want to list higher and they're insistent about it, let them know it may sit on the market for a while. So we might want to have a strategy in effect where if we're not getting a lot of showings in the first few days, maybe we need to look at doing or talk about doing a price adjustment and getting closer to what the market is bearing. And you know, just kind of walk them through what your recommendations are. They have the ultimate, you know, say so on it. It's their home. If they want to list it high, totally fine. But I remind them, you know, if we list it higher than I suggest, please keep in mind, I suggested a lower price. I'll do everything I possibly can to market it. But if we don't get it sold right away, please consider that I suggested a lower price and you decided to go a little higher, which is totally fine. And then this is your online exposure. I love this slide because once we list a property in MLS, it is syndicated to over 280 websites. And then from those websites, it's syndicated again. So it's a total of, I think, 358 websites or something along those lines. This is a slide that shows some of the properties that these get listed to. And this is just on the Realty One side. It also gets syndicated from MLS to various sites there. So this is just kind of a cool slide to show them. Once we list your property, these are some of the sites that it goes out to. It'll go to Zillow.com. It'll go to Realtor.com. It'll go to various places. And then, you know, we have a large online footprint. Some of y'all don't have as much of an online footprint as I do right now, but we're working on it as a group. So make sure that you let them know, even if you're new, let them know our office has a large online footprint. Our company, Realty One Group, has an online footprint, and we use quality photos, videos, and resources, and we all share each other's information and help each other with our listings and get as much exposure as we can. And then maybe pick one of these statistics out of here. You know, 99% of the millennials begin their home search online, and let them know I am on Instagram, I am on Facebook, I am on LinkedIn, I am on YouTube, and just let them know some places that you personally have a presence, and make them get comfortable with what you're going to do and what your marketing plan is going to be. You know, and show them, I keep my phone handy. I don't take calls during my listing presentations, but my phone's always right here beside me. And so let them know we have an app that we are going to use to promote your phone. And you can share your app with that seller and say, here, would you prefer me to email it to you or text it to you? And I'll just share the app with you right now. And you can kind of go on and see statistics as well. And then again, touch on your social media. On the vertical, it cuts it off at the bottom. Again, I'm sorry, guys. But this is where you can put your Facebook, your Instagram, and your LinkedIn profile there, as well as your website. And so use the horizontal, not the vertical on these. It's just going to be better and easier because this is driving me crazy. And then towards the end, you talk about, your global interactions that we have. Again, 14 countries right now and growing. And let them know that, excuse me, all of our Realty One Group listings are advertised across a trusted network of international websites powered by ListHub. And don't be afraid to name drop on some of these. And then your listing will appear across a vast network of 85 top international sites located in 50 different countries, translating into 16 languages, currencies, and over 60 million buyers and investors nationwide. And we can do marketing in English as well as Spanish, or I think there's a few other languages right now we're working on other languages. I know Melissa's not with us today because she's taken a few days. She had a girls trip planned. So, but she was very impressed when we were looking the other day, and she's like, this is all in Spanish. I can just post this in Spanish. Absolutely. And so if you have any Spanish speaking, we have a ton of people that can help you out. And any of them would be happy to help you out. So, and then I just took a blank page here from the end of the presentation, and I inserted from my Google business page some reviews, and just shows the 5-star, shows the 9 reviews. It only shows a couple here or one here, but it shows that I have 9 reviews and 214 photos and, all the 66 reviews there. And so just show them some stuff. And then let's get started. I'm going to go over your competitive market analysis, your CMA. I'm going to show you what the market is bearing right now, cost-wise. And I'm going to make some representation or suggestions for your list price. I'm going to do a sliding scale. It's going to be based on the median price as well as the average price for your neighborhood. And it's not for the whole city, it's for your neighborhood specifically. And so this is what other homes in your neighborhood are selling for. And then I have a sample listing agreement that I keep in a folder that I leave with my clients, and all the disclosures, the information about brokerage services, your consumer pricing, all of those, I give them a sample of each. And so they can get familiar with them. I tell them, I'm not going to ask you to sign this right now, but we're going to come back and visit that, when I follow up with you. And if you decide that you want to move forward and I'm your realtor you're working with, I will fill this out and send it out to you at that time. But for now, I just want you to get familiar with the paperwork. And then initiate a marketing plan, excuse me, and talk about what you expect to do. What are you going to do the first 3 days? What are you going to do the next 4 days after that? How many open houses are you going to have? How are you going to and put a marketing plan together that details what you're going to do, and install a lockbox. It says on here, install a electronic lockbox. I changed it to install lockbox because I only have one electronic lockbox and it's out right now. A lot of the lockboxes I have are digital or combination lockboxes. And so I just left it at lockbox. If someone really is concerned about not having a digital lockbox, let us know. We'll come up with one. Or you may have to go out and buy one. And then let them know you're going to install a yard sign and ask them, I'm not familiar where any of your sprinkler lines could be out in your yard, and I don't want to damage anything. Where is a good location, or could you help me place this? And have your client show you where they want the sign. During the summer, when it gets so dry here, it's always a good idea to ask them if they have a hose you could borrow, and set the hose out there and soften that, turn it on, soften that ground up a little bit so you can get the sign in, because you're not going to get that sign in unless you've softened that ground. Or I've even gone as far before as to drill holes in the ground to put my sign in as a guide for them. Because it does get dry and hot, and it's really tough to get those signs in. So make sure you're prepared for that. And then, additional marketing, your listing is going to be included across several marketing channels, from digital to print. It's going to have vivid photos, and your property is complementing each piece. And so show them some of the ways that we have marketed in the past, and show them some of the tools that we have. You don't have to get into a lot of specifics. Excuse me, allergies are acting up again today, guys. Anyway, this is just a slide that shows where we are ranked at Realty One Group is. Ranked as the top 1% in America on Real Trends, top 1% in America on RISMET Media, top 1% fastest growing franchise in America by Entrepreneur. And just hit a couple of them and let them know. Now, I took out several slides at the end because I didn't think I needed as many. And so I inserted these other tools that we have. And this is just a thing, and I think there's a video here, maybe. Yes, I'm gonna put this up and play it for y'all. And this is on OneSuite. You can go to this page, you can click on it, and you can listen to this video. But I wanted to play this real quick for you. And Craig, I can see you. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear this.
Hello everyone. In today's training episode, I want to tell you a little bit about our new modern drip letter editor. This new editor you can use to build out emails, newsletters, all sorts of really great things. It works in a drag and drop format, which I think it's pretty easy to use, pretty awesome. So we're excited to go ahead and show you. So I'll go ahead into my drip campaign letters. So for my marketing tab, hit my drip campaign letters. Hit my agent letters, so this kind of just stores all of my personalized letters. And then again, you can include this into a drip campaign, or you can send this off as a one-time sent email. So you can select your contacts, then date tomorrow, boom, okay? So that's an option. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how that new modern editor looks like. Same format, you're gonna write your name, subject, template. We're gonna go ahead and select modern editor for today's overview. Alrighty, so I'm going to actually walk through and build out a newsletter for you right now to show you all the different things on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side screen, you have all these different blocks. These are predefined areas that we can drop, just essentially just drag and drop over to my newsletter, or just simply click add when you hover over each block. So we can kind of go over the different blocks real quick. We have a title block, we have one with an image and short description in the bottom, different size images, varied grades, different layouts, so 3 images, 3 headers, etc. Very fun. We have just a description box, and we also have a address box, which is pretty awesome. I think you can just incorporate, active listings and even sold property data if you want to pull it into your newsletter or email. Okay. You also have a box for email signature and social media icons. So I'm going to go ahead and just start adding my info for my newsletter. Okay, so on my other screen, I actually have a drafted Word document of my content for today. I think it's super easy and helpful to kind of just have something rough draft. So that way you're not just putting in random information, random pictures in this newsletter. You want to make sure it makes sense, it flows pretty clean. So we're going to just go based off what I have on my rough draft here. So we have the the components where you can change the background color, which I think it's pretty awesome. So you just kind of play around what color you'd like, hit OK. I'm not going to play too much with my coloring today, keeping it very simple. Going back to my blocks, now I'm going to add a description box in there. So drag and drop, boom. And again, I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste my info. Super easy. Okay, and here we can add a source. So I'm going to select contact the field. I'm going to select my client's first name, click OK, boom. So that way you just personalize those newsletters or emails. Okay. Now I'm going to pick a different box with an image. Let's go ahead and just click add. Go ahead and change that header. Select my image.
All right, I'll let you guys go back and finish watching this at your leisure. But I just wanted to show you, it is there. It's really easy to do. That was Paige Ortiz that is doing that video. She's very good. And so get familiar with that. I think we could all figure out how to do that. She made it look real simple. I bet I could even do it. Craig, what do you think? Could you do that?
There we go, unmute, yes.
Yeah, didn't look hard at all, did it?
Not at all.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, you just got to watch the video a couple times. Catherine was kind enough to help me out yesterday because I was pulling my hair out, trying to figure out how to utilize some of the stuff we had. And
I'll
I
be in
knew,
the office getting help with it. Don't worry about that.
huh?
So I'll be in the office getting help with it. Don't worry
Oh,
about that.
good. Well, I learned how to use Canva yesterday. And so I'm the Canva queen for the next couple of days. I've got 5 things that I've already put, but I didn't want to post them all at once. So I've kind of put 2 of them out yesterday. I'll do 2 today and 1 tomorrow and keep moving forward. But it wasn't hard. It wasn't making sense because of the way it was formatted originally. But then when I sat down with Kat and she went, oh, this is how you, my light bulb came on. Okay, this is how I do it. And so I just changed it and all of a sudden I was off to the races. And she really helped me out with it. It took her not much time at all. I think within an hour, I had those 5 pieces created and ready to go on and uploaded to various websites. So that was really cool. Now on our website, on each of your individual websites, you guys all have access to this home valuation tool. And this is another video that they've put together. I'm going to play a couple of seconds for, or a couple of minutes for this, about the home valuation IDX tool. This is a wonderful way to get out in front of people and just, you know, even a social media post, you know, do you know the value of your home? And then include your home valuation tool in the body of your thing. And yeah.
Right, this is our kind of playground demo site. In here, we've got what is your home worth, and we can drop it right in that address there. We also have a dedicated page. Let me show you the dedicated page. And so this is a get an instant home value.
This is on your
the
website.
Page that agents would actually go and share. And so this would be under an agent's website or the company website, right? So this could be kenelmer.com/myhomevalue. And then a client would come in here, maybe you shared it onto Facebook, a client would come in here and say, oh yeah, I really would like to get an idea of what my house is worth. And so it'll be geocoded to the general area where you guys have your footprint. So in this case, our demo system is Northern California. So you can see here, I've got 718 3rd Street pops up right away. And that's the one here that I want to do, which is in Sacramento. And so again, we've got lead gen down here, sign up for a free market report, right? This automatically generates a market report. Agents don't have to do a thing. If somebody does this, they will automatically start to get the monthly market report. So we've got lead gen all over this thing, but let's say get an estimate. All right, so here's the actual AVM. We've got the information at the top of the page. You can see this lives directly in the structure of the website, so great for SEO. We've already served this up to Google at this stage. Down here, we've got an interactive satellite map. For this demo, we've picked Zillow and the Zestimate number, the Home Junction AVM. We've got our IDC number as well, which is kind of trend set, and then we're showing the tax assessed value. As I scroll down the page, this is adjustable, so this is kind of a nice little market section that you can actually adjust. You can also pick the different data sources, and again, this is per company, not per agent. We've got the lead gen right here, contact a local agent. If this is on the agent's website, contact me. If it's on a team website, contact us, right? And this goes right into the direct lead gen. That's not the lead gen I was talking about earlier, but it's still good lead gen. Then we've got the actual sales history of the property. So we're going to show the last 20 years of the sales history. We've got the value history, right? So this is the history over the last year of how much the property was worth. So you can see how the market, as it changed, the value of the property also changed. This quarter versus last quarter, the value history, but this is really the meat of the AVM. So now what we've done is we've served up everything in this nice little interactive map around this specific property. So we can take a look at homes that are actually on the market. We can take a look at homes that are closed. If I click any of these, it'll give a nice big property detail page for that specific property. You can see pendings. You can see off-market and withdrawns. You know, you can play with this map. Down here, you've got some nice days on market, some averages for pricing, for pendings, for sold.
All right, that kind of gives you guys an idea. For you, those of you that haven't talked to him, that was Jason Ortez, or I'm sorry, Jason Lopez. He is our help desk guru. And so he does a lot of these training things too. He is wonderful with all of this marketing and digital stuff. He's a go-to guy on that. And if you're ever having any problem on the website, just help desk.
All right, this is our
We'll
kind
help
of
you
play.
out. Jason will help you out. Now, you also all have digital business cards. Make sure that you have your OneSuite loaded app loaded to your phone. I've utilized this various locations. It was really big in Summit. I didn't have to worry about carrying cards with me. If I'm in a cocktail dress, I had my phone. That's all I had. And oh, here's my card, and just scan the QR code, and all of a sudden we're connected. So use this a lot. Take advantage of it. It's a free item. It's included in your 150 tech a month. So make sure you have these tools. Okay, and that is basically the end that I had today. Did anybody have any questions, concerns? I know we went over a bunch of stuff in a short period of time. Craig, is this stuff you think you could do?
Yeah, it's kind of concerning. There's a lot of things I heard that I didn't know about, frankly. So this phone app, I'm real excited about. I really want to do that right away. So obviously I need to try and work on that myself and see if I can figure it out. If not, if I could get maybe some help with doing it, but I'm sure it's not too difficult.
It's not, and there are two apps that you guys both need to, oh, I got messages here, that you need to download. And so we have a Little Elm alert, by the way, people, severe weather forecast this afternoon. Please be safe out there. But there is your one app, which is what you give to your clients, your buyers especially. You can save it to your sellers as well. You can share that app. That's where they go to find properties. And when you share it from your phone, it's branded directly to you. And so every time your client goes to the app to look for a house, your name and information pops up right there. And so it continually brings them back to you. And so that's one you need to do. And the other is the OneSuite CRM. And that has your digital business card and all of your CRM stuff on there. You know, there are other tools that are chargeable type stuff. There's one called One Camera. I downloaded it, and a lot of it seemed to be a chargeable event, so I didn't really go very far with it. But there's some apps out there and they don't cost a lot, but they do cost some. And so it may be worth picking and choosing through. You can always go into your marketplace through your one login and find out, various companies that we interface with. I'm going to change screens here and see if I can get over to, hang on. You go to your core apps. These are all of the various companies, and some of them are paid companies, some of them are free, or a combination thereof. But you can go in, we've talked before about tool chest. They have tool chest in Spanish right now. And there's One Future. I haven't even looked at One Future. Let's kind of see what this is. I don't have a clue. They're adding new stuff all of the time. And they all have videos. Okay, this is for your financial future. Okay, so if you want to start investing, One Future is where you go to learn about it. And it will tell you various things about it. I would recommend watching the video. But under Marketplace, this is all of the companies that we do business with or have connections with. And you can go find any of them and scroll down to any of them and learn more about it. You can even set up your own. If you have partners in your office that you want to work specifically with, you can set them up here. If you digital marketing,
I can't see anything if you're showing us something different.
Sorry, I don't know what.
I still see the last page of the presentation.
Okay, let me go back and stop sharing and reshare. Maybe
I
that
don't know
will
if
help.
anybody else can see it, but I can't see it.
How about now?
Ah, there we go. Now I see
Okay.
it.
Yeah, so this is your marketplace. And you just get to it by going right here. There's a big tile that says marketplace. Your One Future is here. We have a health system. I don't know that much about it. You ever need health insurance? Check that out. And the one that I did use, and I like it, but I only used it, the free portion of it, Rate My Agent. And it's probably more for existing agents. If you have reviews out there on the internet, and say they're on Zillow, and I had some on Trulia and Zillow and Realtor.com, and I had them on Google, and I had various places. Rate My Agent will pull those all together for you and bring them all to one location. And it will put them on your Google business page. And so I used it for that. I got them all pulled together, or a good percentage of them. Like I said, I did the free portion, so they only gave me some of them. But still, I know where they are now. I can copy and paste from Rate My Agents and use them in other marketing things. So feel free to check these things out. PerkSpot, I get, and you all probably get these and you just don't realize it. I get an email every week about different PerkSpot stuff, lifestyle discounts that we might have. We have relationships with a couple of Alamo rental car. I'm using that when we are in Scotland coming up in a couple of months. And so there are discounts that you can qualify for, and it might be worth checking out to see if maybe you're using the product already and you can get a discount. Check it out. But this is your one app dashboard. Sorry, internet's slow today. And this is what it looks like. You can go and send texts, you can invite people, you can do all kinds of stuff right from this one page. And so this is just kind of a tutorial on that. App engagement, it also shows you how it engages, how it is a lead source, how you can boost, all of that stuff. And this is just a dummy account, so it's going to have nothing in there right now. But you can go and learn all about that. Boost, I've never done Boost. It's a paid thing again, but you can go in here and learn about it. Maybe you want to boost a listing. I don't recognize any of these addresses, so I'm guessing that these are all active listings for our agency, and not necessarily mine. Or maybe they're just on MLS, and I can create a listing ad for any of these. Yeah, this is the one that Mario and I are working on. So I can create a listing ad right here. And it'll put everything together for me, and I just have to get it out in front of people. So get familiar with some of these tools. They're offered. Okay, so this is what your boost looks like, and it's going to cost, if I want to do this, it cost me $139. If I automate it and save it, I'd save up to 15%. So I don't necessarily want to do this right now, but it is available if you want to ever do it. So get familiar with what we have out there. If you have a little extra time, just kind of click on some of these icons and get to know more about it. You know, new construction is going to be your new home resources. I've used that one a lot. We have One Cares Day coming up at the end of this month. Get in here and learn about that. It's on the 30th of April, I think. Could be the 1st of May. But it's a time where a lot of Realty One Group offices will do a sponsorship or do a donation to various local companies. And I know that the New Jersey office is doing a animal, they're collecting animal food and supplies and stuff for one of the local animal rescues. And then I think someone else was doing personal hygiene products for a shelter in the area. So we only have about 10 days left on that. If anybody would want to do something like that, let's get together fast. But I am thinking next year. Sorry, my dog's barking. I got somebody outside, I think. And so just get together with me and we'll talk about it. Right now, we're not at a size where I don't know we could do the One Cares project and do it justice, but next year for sure, maybe we'll put together a team or a group and put somebody in charge of it. And y'all are always welcome to do any of these things. You know me, I'd love help. If you have an idea or need help with something or want to help out with something, shoot me a message. We're going to have 2 weeks coming up. The end of, well, it's the 31st of May is when I leave, but I'll be gone for 2 weeks. Well, actually 17 days. I'm going to Scotland for a vacation with my husband and my adult son. So if anybody would like to do a class in my absence, let me know and we'll put some topics together, and I can get you access to my Zoom or whatever we need to do. And you guys could do a class in my absence, or you get a 2-week break, one of the two. So don't be afraid to ask questions and offer to help out if you want to. That way you get more familiar with things. You know, becoming familiar is a key. If you guys want a good, laugh for the day, go back to when I first started doing these training classes last year. I'd been 2 years out with COVID. I hadn't been in front of a bunch of people, and you'll hear me at the beginning. I'm really kind of and I'm horrible. But the more I got to do it, the more I got comfortable with it, the more I got to know the story of one, the easier these things come to me. And sometimes I still listen to myself and go, but that's just human nature, because you never think you sound good. But you guys keep telling me I'm doing a good job. So apparently I am doing a good job. But yeah, it's the more you do something, the more you put yourself out there, the more you put yourself in, I don't necessarily want to say an uncomfortable position, but a position that's going to stretch your talents, the better you're going to get. And so just get out there and have some fun with it. We're going to start doing some additional things. I had a class with one of the, excuse me, Rev Up teachers, and she's at Corporate Carrie. We did a recruiting and Rev Up Mastermind class the other day, and she is actually putting together a board. She's got a patent pending on this. It's a board game, and she was supposed to send it out, and I haven't seen anything come out yet. That is about real estate, and you get certain points assigned to different things. If you write a listing agreement, you get 10 points. If you get it signed, you get another 4 points. And it's just kind of a fun little game that she came up with. And it was cute. It was adorable. And she's probably maybe going to make some money off this. I forgot what she was calling it, but yeah, she's got a patent pending on it. You never know. Ramon's our little patent pending guy. How does that go? He may not be able to talk right now.
Sorry.
No, I can.
Okay. So when she gets the patent pending, what's her next step? She puts it together, what?
Well, after your patent, well, when you're in patent pending, that means that the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office is reviewing your patent, and they're going to look for if you're infringing on any other patents, and then they might send you something, and then you have to get your patent lawyer, because it's actually patent lawyers, and they would have to do a revision and then resubmit. So in the patent pending phase, you are still you're kind of safe than absolutely having nothing. But yeah, I mean, if you look at a lot of products that you buy right now, if you get Solo cups and stuff like that, you look at them on the bottom, they still say patent pending on them, and they've been selling them for, a gazillion years. So, but that's really good, because yes, you can start making money, and you can start, distributing your stuff.
Yeah, so she's putting it together, but I don't know how long she's on her timeline on that, but I thought that was kind of fun.
Sometimes it does take a long time. Like I filed back in 2007, and I didn't get my actual patent until 2013.
All right.
So it does take,
it
does take some time. I did learn that, like you see like all the big wigs out there, like you see like the guys on Shark Tank, like Lori Grainer or whatever, how they have like 100+ patents. I'm like, how do you have 100 patents? It took me, 6 years to get one. How do you have 100? Well, I've learned that, if you pay a little bit extra more money, they will expedite your patent and put it to the top.
Oh.
Because what they do is they actually will not research your patent until they get a certain amount. So let's say their number is, like, for instance, let's just say, I'm making it up, but let's say their number is 400. Until they get 400, they're not going to go and grab that packet of 400 and start to go through them until they reach that certain number. So sometimes it does take longer. So I guess it depends on your type of patent and what you're trying to patent. So sometimes it could be shorter, sometimes it could be longer.
All right. For those of you that don't know, tell them what your patent is in.
My patent is it's it's called a microphone shield device. And what it does is it attaches to let's say like an NFL coach, it attaches to their.
Nope, you're on mute again.
It's called a microphone shield device. And what it does is it attaches to the coach's headset. It could be NASCAR, NHRA, something like that. And I basically designed it for football. And what it does is it actually would block the user's lips and prevent them from being able to see what the coach is saying. Because, most times you watch an NFL game, you see the coach like this the entire time. They're always like this. So what my invention would do, it would actually block, it's actually, I don't know where it is. It actually would block their lips and prevent them from being able to have their lips read.
And they can mark it on the outside of that too.
So yeah, that's where I'm trying to go with it. So I mean, I won some awards at some patent, at some invention conventions. So I won a silver medal in telecommunications and a bronze in advertising. So, I'm just still trying to work that angle there, and get that out. But yeah, that's something I've had. I'm, very proud of that. It's the first time I've done that, but it took a long time, and it's not very cheap either, because you have to renew years like 1, 3, and 5. You have to renew, and it's not cheap to do that. But if you want to be in it to win it, then I suggest you do that, because somebody will just be waiting there for you to not renew and just scoop it up, and then it would be theirs.
Perfect. Well, thanks for sharing. Okay, it's just the
No,
three of
no
us.
problem.
Did you guys, was this valuable?
Yes.
Okay,
Very.
okay, good. Next week, we are going to bring in a lender that Brownie met at a networking event. Excuse me. And we're going to have her do probably the first 15, 20 minutes and talk about, she works for a local bank and she does commercial loans as well as residential. So we're going to have her talk about the difference between a local bank, a mortgage lender, a mortgage broker, and a credit union. Because each of them have different services that they offer and different things. They usually offer a similar type loan product, but each of them has a different clientele. And so we're going to have her tell a little bit about that. And then if you have any ideas for what you want the main class afterwards, let me know, because I'm either going to start doing another piece on continuing our pieces on social media, or I'm kicking around the idea of, you guys haven't attended this yet. We have a 12-week course that's called Rev Up. And they're putting it on right now through Realty One Group is having their bigwig trainers do it as a 10-week course, because there are 2 weeks that are state specific for contracts and stuff like that. So they can't do those 2 weeks. So they're doing a 10-week course. They're charging people, and I forget what the charge is for the Rev Up. But I've gone through the series once. And if you attend all 12 classes, and they are recorded, if you can tell me about what's a topic in one of the Rev Ups you did not attend, I will give you credit for the full 12-week course. And it is a certificate possibility at the end. Nobody ever got the certificate last time we did it. And so I'm like, come on, guys, all you have to do is listen to me for an hour to an hour and a half a day. So we're thinking about reviving that, because none of y'all have gone through it. I know Brownie's gone through parts of it. Catherine's gone through parts of it. And a few other people have gone through parts of it. So if you think I should start the Rev Up again and run it on just the 12 weeks, it's a fun class, a lot of information. And so if that's something of interest, let me know that. Otherwise, let me know what topics you want. We're also going to look at, I have a meeting this afternoon with a lady from a title company, Lauren Polito, and she does continuing education courses. So you get CE credit, and she goes out and is looking for places to do it. So we're going to have her do some at the Hula Hut, but probably not until August, September timeframe on those. So I'm going to talk to her tonight and see what courses she has available. She sent me her class list yesterday, and some of them I think were very interested. I know that there are 28 ways to get out of a 1-to-4 contract. Well, she's up to 45 ways to get out of it. So I'm thinking it might be nice to bring her in and talk about the 1-to-4 contract and all of the ways that there are to get out of it, because apparently they've increased the number. So that's something that all agents, not just the newer ones, every agent needs to know the 1-to-4 contract and what your outs are. She's with a title company, so of course she can do specific on title. One of the classes had to do with the seller of the property is a trust. Now what? And so a lot of good topics. So I'm going to meet with her. If you have any specifics you want me to ask her about, let me know. I'm meeting with her at 4:00 today. Other than that, thank you guys for attending. I so appreciate you. I will be uploading this to YouTube as well as the franchise library probably by tomorrow. And so we'll get that out for you if you want to review it again. And y'all have a good weekend. Go out there and sell something. Go have a meaningful conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
All
Appreciate it.
right. We'll see y'all soon.